Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out VECHAIN's price chart. And now in here, I am starting to see some optimistic signs, but I do not believe that's actually enough. And in my view, the next move is going to determine what is going on in VECHAIN. And believe it or not, the structures in here are actually very clear, even potentially more clear than what we are having right now in Cardano's price chart. So are you ready? Let's dive in and see what is going on. And if you remember, the last time that we talked about VECHAIN, we were right around the lows, and the idea was that maybe we're gonna have correction and then another move down. But then at that point, we can say this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure, meaning what? After it's over, we said soon we can expect a move on the upside, and the move up we got. Now, here's a very important point. Let's go around here. You see, in VECHAIN, you can consider two different counts. If in like very short term, you want to be a bit pessimistic, you can say, look, we're just having an ABC zigzag, which in terms of the sub waves, we're gonna have 5 down into a correction for wave B. Let's say a WXY, or no, let's actually argue an ABC zigzag. Generally doesn't really matter a whole lot, and then another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into our ceiling. Now, let's just do this. Sometimes whenever you are seeing a deep move on the downside, it might actually trick you into believing that we are having a 5 wave. However, at the same time, you should also consider the possibility of having a WXY in form of a double zigzag. And pay attention, one very important characteristic of a double zigzag is indeed being quite a deep move on the downside. So why is this important? Because in VECHAIN, you can argue we are having 5 down into a correction for wave B. And what's next? Well, another move on the downside into our ceiling. Or on the other hand, you can say maybe since we are having kind of a deep move down, this is probably, yes, to about this point, WXY in form of a double zigzag. Question, which scenario is going to be in play? At the moment, we really cannot say anything for sure. And for that matter, I don't really believe that anybody can tell you anything for sure. But I think the next move that we are going to get soon is actually going to determine what is going on overall in VECHAIN. So with that in mind, let's zoom in more and count some waves. And I think we can safely assume that this is probably a 1, 2, wave 3 to about here, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. Also, where is the lowest low? Yep, it's this one, and off of it, I do think this is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This is correction down. Let's say, yes, it is actually a WXY in form of a double zigzag, or maybe an ABC. Doesn't really matter a whole lot. The point that I'm trying to make is this: we are having only and only 2 sets of 5 waves on the upside in VECHAIN, and these very well might be the sub waves for an ABC zigzag. Now, here's very important. If this count is truly happening, then okay, either from the current point or like just a bit higher, we have to see a very strong move down, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which between our pullbacks up, you should not be able to identify overlapping of the waves. So if, let's say, for the next 48 to 72 hours, you see something like this in VECHAIN, then okay, at that point, count on yet another move down in order to visit the lows in here once more, about 2.3 cents. But, you know, we may go like just a bit lower than that. On the other hand, though, if we end up having a 12 to 24 hour consolidation pattern, something like this, and then another move up, you know what, that can be like a really good sign. And at that point, you are allowed to entertain the idea of having a WXY in here and our final low being in about 2.38 cents, because you're going to be able to at that point say, look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up, which is a great sign suggesting in VECHAIN we have hit our final bottom. So at the moment, all eyes should be on the next move, because I think that is going to determine what is happening. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in VECHAIN's chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.